Good afternoon. It's literally noontime, so there you go. I didn't get to slide in today. Judy Allen here, San Antonio, Texas. We keep it simple or step it up today. And you know, everything's about time, right? Everything's about time. The need for speed or lack of time or whatever the case may be. So I'm going to show you some quick and easy, starting simple. We're going to step it up. I'm going to show you how easy it is, and then I'm going to tell you the trick at the end. All right? So with that, let's go down the hands, and let's make some cards, right? So this is the stamp set that I'm going to be using. And I'm not going to even tell you that much about it until the end. The end, because there's always something that we can be doing, right? So I've already got this right here. And we're going to just stamp, do a little stamping. All right, so things that have already got beautiful paper, we can just add a little extra touches. So in this particular one, all I'm going to do is I'm using Night of Navy. So one thing is, Night of Navy is a nice way to sit there and use color sometimes without doing just the black. So as I turn this around, the key to this is going to be lining the flowers up, right? Because we have many papers and other designer series paper that we can just line things up and stamp. So that's all I'm going to do there, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. So again, it's just finding the right turn of the flower and stamping it. So you can either stamp yours or you can sit up there and create your own lots of times. So we're going to just do the same thing here. Some stamps, well, I shouldn't say that. There's quite a few kits, or there's quite a few stamp sets and dies that you can either go and die cut the paper, or you can go and stamp something and die cut it as well. And you'll see that at the retreat. If you're at the retreat, we're going to show some of that. In this particular case, we've got little where they've designed the stamps so you can actually go onto the paper and add to it. So that's what we're doing here. Oops, I got a little shadow in here, and that was my fault. Sorry about that. I did not turn off the other light that causes the shadow. Part of it's because it's really dark outside today. We were supposed to have this possibility of storms, which is bad good, right? Because the fact that it means we get rain. So, it's one of those things you have to decide whether you want to enhance it like that or not. If you're out there, please be sure to say hello. All right, so this one's just going to be simple. We're going to sit there and put some adhesive on here. So that's one thing about simple stamps. We just do some simple stamping. And if you had not wanted to stamp that, you didn't have to, right? We could have just as easily not stamped the flowers or anything like that and just left it, and it would have been just a-okay as well too. So it's just a matter of preference, right? Make sure I got all these off. Okay, and then I'm just going to put this right here. But the navy really goes good with the green, right? Okay, and then we're just going to sit there and stamp a tag here. And there it is. And I'm just going to stamp a sentiment. I'm just going to, this one, I'm going to put Forever Friends. So this actually has got like a little bit of a curve to it on 2 corners, so you can do it any way you want. But I'm just going to stamp it. Yeah, I got a lot of shadow there. Okay, I'm just going to set this aside the moment. And I'm just going to put this up on dimensionals. Now, one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put this on dimensionals, and I'm going to actually just add a little knot of ribbon here, and we'll see how we like it. And then that's a done deal. And I can also add some embellishments, which I've got some pearls here that I wanted to put on here because I can, right? It's one of those things, I do it because I can. So I'm just going to put this right here, Friends Forever, right here to the side. And I was just going to take a piece of ribbon, see if I liked it, tie it in a knot. That's, I'm going to try 2 inches. And all I'm going to do is just see if I can tie a knot here for you, live. And leave that ink pad open, believing I'm not going to have any accidents there. And let's see, I might have to do it a little bit longer for me. You really don't need it that long. In fact, I'm just going to cut it a little bit thinner too as I think about it. So in this particular case, I'm just cutting it in half, so it's going to be a little bit thinner. I did think of that earlier. It's like, what if you just did that thinner? Okay, so I'll just do a little bit thinner, and it actually wasn't from the fact of tying it out, it was just the fact of adding a look, right? So all I'm going to do is just add a little knot. Looks like a little love knot, but it's not. And we're just going to put this right down here. So this is, it will fray a little. Fraying doesn't bother me. I like that look. For some people it does bother them. It doesn't bother me. Okay. So all I'm going to do, this is really nice because it's easy to tie a little knot like I just did. And we can either add it to the side here. We have options. We can add it under here. We can add it above. I might just do this one above this time. And then I'll add some pearls and we're done. Now, the other thing I'd like to do, which you've seen me do it a lot, is I like to do Wink of Stella. I don't know, just Wink of Stella just always adds a little extra shine and sparkle. Sorry, it's got a lot of shine and sparkle, right? But still, I always like to do that with flowers. So there's a dot. I thought maybe it attached to me here. And I'll just put it right here. I think I changed mine. I'll put it right there. Okay, and that way, if you want to trim it down, you can. Right? So in case you can't tell, this is beautifully foiled. I want you to see how beautifully foiled that is. Right? Whether you're watching live or whether you watch later, whatever. And then I can, like I said, I'm just going to use the Wink of Stella here. I don't have to. If I see my Wink of Stella, there's my Wink of Stella. Okay. So I'm just going to add some Wink of Stella. It just gives a little extra shine. Little sparkle. Make sure you pick up any color there. Just when you use the Wink of Stella, just remember, as I'm thinking about this Night of Navy here, is that sometimes you can pick up color that you may or may not want. Because, right, these are watercolors, water-based. So I'm just making sure I didn't. Okay, so I just added a little sparkle there. I did not put any bling on there, but we can. Right, pearls will look just pretty here. I really didn't want to do anything super shiny, right? Because we've already got that in the background of the paper. But we can take some of our basic pearls, which I have plenty of those, and we can add them on here. Just, you know, put a few of them. And I just spread them around. And there you go. All right, so we just have a very simple card. All right, with beautiful paper. Now let's go to that second card. The second card, that's not the second card, that's the third card where we step it up, right? Because it's about time, right? So this one here, we're going to do the same thing, except I'm just going to stamp the flowers, okay? So let me get this here again, and we're going to stamp the flowers. And you'll have to tell me if you like it better with or without. So I'm just trying to line up my flowers really good there. Whether you like it with the outline or not. You may. So I'm going to do what? 3 cards. So on the last card, I most probably am not going to do this, just so you can see. And let me know what you think. You know, this is always a great way. So yeah, so it's easy to turn the paper on this side because I've already got it cut. So it's just a matter of lining it up, right? And stamping. And it just gives it a nice watercolor look. Just trying to see which ones go here. May or may not do the one. I'll do that one there. That one will be easier there. And we'll come over here. So right, so it's just lining the stuff up. That's all you do. And you just rotate it around until you get it. It's really not that hard. You can see I'm just turning it around and lining up. So it's all about the whole watercolor look, right? All right, got 2 right here, so it has to be these 2 guys. Okay, so there, we just stamped off the paper, just like we've done in other things. So all we're going to do now is we're going to take this up and we're going to put it up on dimensionals. So yes, if you're out there, say hello. If you're watching replay, let me know. Because we do, toward the end of the month, or last Sunday of the month, we do door prizes. So it's always nice to give away door prizes, right? I like giving away door prizes. And I would hope that you like receiving door prizes. We usually either give away kits or blings, or we might even give you some cards that we've made. So you can turn around and give them to someone else. So they'll think that you made the cards, but you didn't. Alright, so all we're doing here then is we're doing this here, and then we're going to stamp a sentiment right here. Let's see, my sentiment. I'm going to do this next sentiment here. This is another nice sentiment. It's the one sending lots of hugs. You know, if you can't be with people in person, it's just very easy to send them a nice note. Like, had it upside down. So just send them a nice little note, right? If you can't be them in person, let them know that you're thinking of them. Granted, hugs are free. Whoop, whoop. I learned that a long time ago. I already knew that anyway, right? Sometimes we just forget. We forget the little things. So this one here, I'm going to put this on dimensionals, just to give it a height above the flowers that are just stamped. And I just got one of those things there. Thank you. All right. I'm just going to put it to this. And yes, you know what? You can sit there and just tear this off. And we put it right here. Okay, it works just as well because it's all about giving height, right? So I don't know of anybody that comes behind me and says, hey, you use this kind of dimensional. It's like, no, that didn't really happen. Let's see, I don't want to cover up too much of my flowers. I think I'll put it right, I'll go ahead and put it up here, just so it covers up just a little bit. Okay, and then I'm just going to put this right up here, like this, and again, I can put it up on a couple of put it on dimensionals, right? I'm just going to take a little strip here. Sending lots of hugs. So I did it midway. Okay, that's good. I was going to say, because you really want to do it about midway so that you can easily set it up right up here like this. And you know what? If we want to add ribbon, again, we can do the same thing. I have my leftover piece from a minute ago that I tied in a little knot. I'll do the same thing. I just liked it a little bit thinner for this because I don't really want it to cover the flowers, but I just want to give it a little bit of accent, right? So I'm just going to do the same thing. Use a glue dot. As soon as I can find the end of the paper right there. Okay. So we're just going to add a glue dot here. And you know, it's just really and truly, it's just whatever side you like the most. Like, you know, when you tie a knot like that, it's, they all sort of come out differently, it seems like them. And again, the fray does not bother me. If it bothers you, just trim it. It's just going to go in the mail, right? So if you don't like that much of a fray, just trim it. It doesn't bother me. Anybody that receives something from me will know that it's going to most probably have something like that, right? Just to give a little extra something. I got one side shorter than the other, so that sometimes will bother me. Okay, so all I have to do now is just add some bling, right? We're going to add that. Going to add some pearls here. And no, I'm not going to color all the flowers on here, but I will add some pearls. So this particular case, right, if you want to put more than three pearls, you can. Since I've got so many flowers on here, I most probably am going to add some more pearls because they just sort of go nice. That's stuck to me. Okay, hold on just a second. Might have to get my pick tool if I can't get it off. My fingernails are just like really short right now. So, you know, the pick tool is really good. There we go. And I'm going to do one more so I have 5. So the pick tool is really good, and I could have used that, and I most probably made it a little bit easier for me. But I didn't. Okay, so there we go. There is card number 2. We just did some stamping. We add a little bit more there, and we add some more bling. All right, card number 3. All right, so we're going to take the concepts of what we just did, except I'm not going to stamp them this time, all right? So there's 2 choices, and you'll have to let me know what you like, which is better. This is Petal Pink, which is sort of what the scheme would look like here. And this is Daffodil Delight. For me, this is very bright, which I really, really like it on a day like today. Reminds me of sunshine. But this one's very nice as well, too. And I decided to go ahead and use this one, but I just want to show you the difference just by changing cardstock. What a difference it can make and look, right? And it's a good thing I have some more so I can make one of each. So I'm going to put this one aside. So we're going to do sort of the same thing here, right? We're going to sit there and put this up on dimensionals, or I can do this one on Stampin' Seal because I really don't need this one up. And so I'm just going to put some Stampin' Seal here. right here. Okay, it's just beautiful foiled paper. Okay, and then I'm just going to put these two together, and I'm going to put them with dimensionals. I'll put dimensionals underneath as well too. I don't think I'm going to use that. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to actually tie ribbon around this one this time. Okay, so we're just stepping it up. We've added additional layers. Same paper, same everything, except we're adding additional layers. I'm just going to put this on here, and I'm going to tie some ribbon around it, which will just give it a nice extra look, right? And I'm not going to stamp the flowers this time. I'm going to put some Wink of Stella on them, just to show you the difference. So I'll put some bling on here, put some Wink of Stella. Now the one thing I was going to do is I wanted to wrap some ribbon around here. Ooh, I was going to say, I wasn't sure if I ran out of ribbon or not. So I'm just going to take this ribbon and I'm just going to wrap it around like right here, just to give it a nice little accent, right? So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put a glue dot on each end of this here for the ribbon. I can just mash it down, it's fine. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so the main thing is I just want to line it up, right? So this is very soft ribbon too, just to let you know. It's not only does it look pretty, but it's soft. So I am going to cross over the flower just a little bit here, just so you pick up the whites, that ribbon really stands out nice. So I mean, when you think about it, the white and the colors here is going to make this ribbon really stand out. So I'm going to come back here with another glue dot. You can use the tool. I've seen people use the tool to sit there and put these on. And I'm just going to stick it there and do it like that. And then we're going to put this whole thing up on dimensionals, right? Because everything's just going to stand out. So not only is the ribbon going to stand out, we're also going to have the pretty paper that's going to stand out. Everything's just going to stand out, including the mess I made. So yes, like I always tell you, you can make a mess, but guess who gets to clean it up? You do. So, same thing for me. I make a mess like this. I get to clean up my own mess. Whoop, whoop. So, just keep that in mind. But we're doing fine. We are doing fine. So, I don't know about you guys. I know where the love of my life is. He is getting snow. And we are definitely not getting snow in San Antonio. Or hail. So, I don't know what your weather is like, but let me know. I'm telling you, the snow for me looks very appealing right now. Okay, so this is basically it. We've got this here. We're going to add some Wink of Stella here to our flowers. And I'm actually going to put some pearls in the middle of these flowers, because I can. Right? We got to put a tag on here too. Alright, and we can put some on the leaves, and we can put some on the little flowers if you want to. Some days it's like a field day here, you know, just put that Wink of Stella everywhere. Alright, and we'll get some bling on here. These are going to just put some little tiny pearls. I'm just going to put some tiny little pearls right there in the center. If I wanted to, I could come back and add some more, but I'm not. I'm just going to come out here and I'm going to add some of the bigger pearls on the outside. So we'll make sure we get our odd numbers, right? We'll make sure that we'll get a total of 5 on here. And I'm going to put another one down here too, because I can. I sort of mix it up though. I don't want to look so flat looking, right? Okay, there we go. I'll just add some there to add some color. And we'll stamp our tag here. Let me see if I find the tag. Alright, let me get the tag. And then we're done, right? That's how simple it is. So that's what I wanted to show you today, is it's just very simple. I'm going to just sit there and say the same thing here. I'm going to sit there and do Forever Friends. I don't know. I think so. Forever Friends is good. Okay. So I'm going to just stick this right down here. So I'm going to have it go right across the bottom. So we have different heights here. So what I'm going to do, and here's a trick, because you want to do this because the thing when you have things at different heights, you want it to sort of, you don't want it to fall over. So all I'm going to do is take this right down here, tear it off. You can tear it off, and I'm just going to stick it on the bottom edge. Okay, because that way it's going to keep it up. I could also put a glue dot if I want to, if it doesn't feel like it's going to float it just like the way I want it. But see how it allows me to cross over everything, gets me to put it at the same height, and that really helps. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this one I just put on, I'm going to put it over here, because I think as a forever friend, I think I want a pearl right there. Alright, just look how nice that is. And you know what, you could stamp other stuff if you wanted to on there, but I'm leaving mine like this here. So, I'm going to show you the 3 cards, and I'm going to tell you the trick, or I should say, tip trick for today out of all of this to make it quick and simple like we have. Because here was the first one, we started simple, right? And then we stepped it up here in the middle. All we did is just add, oops, I got upside down. All we did is add a little bit more, and then here we just added some more layers. So, the tip for today is when you need something quick and simple and you want to make some cards, or maybe you just don't want to create today, you just want to make. This is a kit. This kit is the Forever Friends kit that came out the first of the month, and all that stuff that came in here, enough to make 8 cards with everything in here, including it's got coordinating envelopes. The only thing I did is I changed this. I added cardstock, and I sliced the card base they had here down to a 4 by 5 1/4, and I just added the other stuff they had, the ribbon I added, and I actually got my 3rd card with the extra layer. So that would be the tip I would give you today. You may feel like you don't have time to create, because right, it's always about creating, sharing, and going out there and giving it to someone and making someone's day. So the kits make it very easy that you can make exactly what's in the kit. Everything's in there, including an ink spot, as well as tags. Everything's pre-cut, as well as a stamping block and the set of stamps. So it's very easy to go create. If you don't feel like creating today, but you want to go out and give it to somebody, just get out a kit and make some cards. All right? Hope you enjoy this. If you do, be sure to follow us here on Facebook and also on YouTube. And we're also out there on Instagram and Pinterest. And our links are all on our site here. We hope that you would also share it with others. But the most important thing is to go out there, create, share, and give. Be blessed. I'm working on wrapping up for the retreat. We're getting out in the mail this weekend, and it's happening the following weekend. So with that, be blessed. And I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday on Keep It Simple or Step It Up with Judy Allen here in San Antonio, Texas. Bye.